these queries. Okay, but let's see that how exactly we get that picture about how place of supply would be taken care in GST subject. Okay. Now, all are you can unmute yourself anytime if you want to have ask any questions. Now, moving on to place of supply. Determining the place of supply is very important because GST is the destination-based consumption tax. Place of supply determines where the tax should reach. Like कौन से state के अंदर वो tax पहुंचना चाहिए. Place of supply determines whether a transaction is interstate or intrastate. Along with that, we also need to see that if we are booking wrong entry, then IGST, SGST and CGST, the outstanding of these accounts would go into some different account, so which will be confusion. So we need to determine the place of supply clearly during our transaction. Moving on to like what is the clarification has been given for interstate and intrastate. Now, intrastate being very simple that it is within the state. Okay, but also we need to see that it also is considered as interstate supplies. Now, definitely, if it is the first point which says about like location of supplier and place of supplier are located in different states, means Maharashtra and Gujarat, Maharashtra and Goa, MP and Chhattisgarh. If there are transactions between different states, then definitely it will termed as intrastate. But along with that, even the location of supplier is located outside India. Location of supplier is outside India and the place of supply is inside India. For example, if I'm having a supplier in Dubai, and from Dubai I'm getting goods inside India, then it would be termed as interstate transaction. Now, if there are any GST to be charged on that, okay, then it would be IGST. You're not logged in, no? I don't know. Also, when the supplier is located in India and the place of supply is outside India, if I'm exporting anything from India, okay, and for example, if any GST has to be charged, okay, then it would be said as interstate. No doubt, definitely, exports are excluded from GST, but still, if there are any exception case, then IGST would be charged onto it. Now, outside India does not mean only outside the geographies of India. It also means the SEZ units, Special Economic Zone units. These places or these locations are also considered as outside India. So, whenever there is supply in SEZ units, okay, it will be termed as interstate supplies. So just imagining a small example that if I have a stationery shop, okay, near the premises of SEZ units, and if I supply any stationery to that SEZ unit, then it would be termed as interstate transactions rather than the local, means the intrastate transactions. So, clearing on this intrastate and interstate supplies. Okay, we move ahead. I hope this is clear.
Just to summarize, any supply within the state is intrastate supply, and other than that, three different criteria. Maybe the supplier is based in SEZ, we are supplying to SEZ, or and the supplier is located outside India. So movement of goods from this location will be termed as IGST, will fall under IGST. Movement from SEZ, inward movement, outward movement from SEZ, or inward movement from anywhere outside India will fall under integrated GST.
Right. Okay, great inputs. Good. Yeah, any queries on this? Friends, if you want to ask any queries, okay, kindly raise your hand so that it will help me to understand that if somebody has raised hands, and I can unmute them and take the question. Okay. Friends, I'll just confirm if there is any problem in that relation to echoing sound. Okay, we'll move ahead. Okay, within SEZ also considered as, okay, so within SEZ, see, normally if from SEZ to SEZ if there is any supply, okay, then it is outside India, which does not come under the purview of Indian taxation. So it is exempted. Moving ahead, let's see some examples. Okay, these examples we have bifurcated in two bases. One is supply of goods. Okay, and means we have to determine the place of supply in terms of supply of goods, and we also see place of supply for supply of services. Okay, so now let's take up simple scenarios. If there is movement of goods from Jaipur to Jodhpur, which is within Rajasthan, the place of supply is within the state. So it is a intrastate transaction, and in action C, GST and SGST would be charged. And this was the first screen which was shared. Okay, maybe some people were not able to see the screen. Moving ahead, let's take ahead the place of supply, supply of goods and supply of services. So first supply of goods. So first, very simple, Jaipur to Jodhpur, which is in the state. So CGST and SGST. Here the place of supply is within the state. Now here is the case wherein like there's an agent in between. Okay, like the place of means the supplier is in Delhi, agent is in Punjab, and he is taking the goods from Delhi, and he is telling to Delhi supplier that he kindly ship the goods to one of my customer in Punjab itself. But just like it is crossing the border, so it would be interstate transaction, IGST would be applied. Here the billing from Delhi to Punjab agent, and the bill would contain shipment to Punjab, shipment. Okay, now there are two bills raised from Delhi to this Punjab agent. Okay, and this Punjab agent will be issuing bill to this Punjab agent. Punjab customer. Moving on to the next example. The agent is in Delhi, supplier is in Delhi, but the customer is in Punjab. So in this case, when the Delhi supplier bills to the agent, then he will be charging GST and SGST. Whereas if the agent is now billing the Punjab customer, which is crossing the borders, so here high GST would be applied. Now Laksh, any queries? You have some queries? Yeah, Laksh, you wanted to ask some questions?
Yes, sir. Sir, like CST, will there any forms to be issued by the buyer to the seller in integrated?
No need. Okay, that's good point. Okay, we are not issuing any forms in the GST regime as of now. Okay, as of now it is said that there would be no issuance of any forms like Form C, Form F or Form H. Okay, it would be clearly specified and clearly seen in the invoice with the GST number, which is very stating that it is a transfer from one state to another or within the state. So forms will not be required in this subject.
Sir, one more thing.
Yeah,
Hello?
ask.
Sir, is there any provision for transit sale? It is transit sale where we issue E1, E2 transactions. So
See.
how that will be covered?
For this, like, take the examples here only, which are there on the screen. Okay, now let's take up this entire one story and then we will take it up. Okay. Now what we are doing is, if there are 3 states involved into it, like the buyer, okay, Punjab, okay, there's an agent in Punjab who is buying from Delhi and he is trying to ship to Rajasthan.
Rajasthan.
Okay, so earlier what was happening is that E1, E2 transactions were happening during the transit. Okay, so with that the forms like E1, E2 has to be issued. But now what has to be done is that simple clear bills has to be created by Delhi supplier to Punjab buyer. Okay, and in this case, since they are crossing the borders, okay, IGST will be charged. Now Punjab is selling, okay, no doubt the shipment has been done by Delhi to Rajasthan, but Punjab person will be billing to Rajasthan person. Okay, so now in this case also, like, IGST would be charged. Now because of this flawless exchange of goods are there within the state, okay, there is no case of E1 and E2 transactions to be issued. Okay, simple IGST would be applied if it is crossing the borders.
Okay.
Hope I'm clear, Laksh?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so let's see some more examples. Supply of goods does not require movement. Okay, now this is in case of, okay, there is no movement of goods. Okay, like if a Delhi person is asking Bangalore people, okay, Bangalore team to install some machine in their Delhi office. Okay, so there is no movement of goods. Okay, raw material has been issued, but the goods which has been created and manufactured or installed, it is at the Delhi location. Okay, so in this case, okay, since Bangalore people are rendering services and they are giving the raw material and making the installation at the Delhi office, what would be the case? So here the supply is in Delhi. No doubt the service provider or the installers are in Bangalore. So it would be IGST would be charged in this case. So this is one more example of interstate transaction. Let's say there are some more transactions, like if I'm doing some catering services, okay, now I board from Delhi. Okay, for Bangalore. Okay, now if I sit in the airplane in Delhi, okay, and if I've been given, if I'm served some goods over there, okay, some food over there, so what would be the charges levied over there? Okay, then I've been catered by a supplier in Delhi, okay, and the goods or the food, okay, are supplied on board, okay, then it will be termed as Delhi to Delhi only, even though if the aeroplane is traveling to Bangalore. Okay, so even if I land in Bangalore and I ask for some mineral water, then also the bill would be charged as IGST. Sorry, CGST and SGST. So it would be on the onboard would be the same state. It would not be considered as a IGST transaction. It would not be a interstate transaction. Okay, moving on to one more example. That if a person coming from Delhi, okay, and buys something from a Rajasthan shop, okay, then what would be the case? It would be CGST and SGST. Now, a Delhi person who has come to the store, okay, he does not, he is taking the goods there and there itself, okay, and not showing any declaration on that, he means that person is from Delhi, or he is not giving the registration details, okay, then purely it would be a CGST and SGST transaction. But whereas if the Delhi person says that I am taking the delivery in Delhi, okay, but I will be carrying it back to Rajasthan. Okay, sorry, yeah. Yeah, so if the Delhi person is buying from Rajasthan on the counter, okay, Friends, can you just mute your lines? Yeah. Sorry. Coming back to our example, if a Delhi person comes to Rajasthan store, okay, and says that I want to buy this product, let's say a mobile, okay, and that Delhi person does not show any proof of that I will be carrying it back to Delhi, then normal CGST and SGST would be charged. Whereas if the Delhi person says, I am buying this product for my Delhi office, okay, and the person provides the GST number of Delhi, okay, then the Rajasthan shopkeeper, okay, he will issue a IGST bill, okay, and then the Delhi person can carry the goods back to Delhi also and claim the IGST subject, okay. But yes, in this case, the Delhi person has to show the IGST, means the GST number of Delhi. Then only he will get the IGST benefit. Now there is one more case of casual trader. A Rajasthan supplier, okay, opens up his store in Delhi, okay, for a temporary purpose, for say crackers, okay. So for Diwali season, okay, he opens up a shop in Delhi. The Rajasthan supplier opens up a shop in Delhi, and a Delhi buyer, okay, buys from that shop which is opened up in Delhi. So now this would be case like, it would be CGST and SGST because it is within Delhi only. Now in this case there is one more thing, that the supplier from Rajasthan had shipped his goods to Delhi, his new shop. Okay, so since it would be a interstate transaction, so so IGST would be charged when the shipment is going from Rajasthan to Delhi. So if Rajasthan is moving its goods to its Delhi new shop, okay, then IGST would be charged. And then if the Delhi shopkeeper is selling to any person in Delhi, okay, it would be CGST and SGST. Now this is casual trader, okay. Now his registration would be a temporary, like not temporary, it's a permanent GST number, but it is active for 4 months or say 2 months, okay, then they can deactivate and once again reactivate in the next season. So such type of business can also be done by temporary saying that I'll not be doing business for the 8 months, I'll be doing business only for the 4 months every year. So this is called as casual trader. Now since we have covered the place of supply for supply of goods, now we'll see the supply of services. Now this is in case for the place of supply in telecom industry, for telecommunication. Yeah, Laksh, what's the query?
उसके बारे में पूछना है अभी.
Yeah, Laksh, tell me. Now you are audible.
सर कोई जॉब वर्क या प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड जो लोग काम करते हैं,
हाँ,
अगर उनका कंपनी महाराष्ट्र में है और उनका प्रोजेक्ट चल रहा है फॉर एग्जांपल अदर स्टेट में, तो वेदर दिस विल बी ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ इनवॉइस और ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ प्लेस ऑफ वर्किंग, कैसे रहेगा? जैसे एक मेडिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स या वो क्या फायर सेफ्टी वाले लोग होते हैं ना, उनका जैसे प्रोजेक्ट अगर चल रहा है बैंगलोर में लेकिन उनका रजिस्टर्ड ऑफिस महाराष्ट्र में है, तो कैसे डील करेंगे इसके साथ? इसका कुछ
see, it is purely the example which I had given you in this, okay. यहाँ पे मैंने ये देखो, ये एग्जांपल मैंने दिया था ना, okay. The order a vendor, okay, for supply of power genset in Delhi plant, okay. So Bangalore team is giving the installation and providing the services for their Delhi branch, okay, for their Delhi factory. So Bangalore and Delhi are two different states, so that's why it would be an interstate transaction. IGST would be charged.
ठीक है सर.
Okay.
ओके सर.
So we are moving on to the next one. Yeah, there's one more query. We'll take the queries later on, but right now I'll take the last query from first week. Yeah, Sandeep, you have some queries. You can unmute yourself.
उसको मैंने बोला कि इन्फॉर्म करना चाहिए था।
Yeah, Sandeep. Sandeep, awaiting.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Now, in the case of job working, now is it clear like whether we have to charge on product cost on or services what they're charging for job working processes?
There is some suspense right now for job work and work contract.
Okay.
So we'll get the clarity sooner from the department, because now already 2 laws has been passed and 2 more laws are yet to become. When the CGST, SGST law has come, IGST and new GST thing is also about to come.
Okay.
So we'll get We'll get clarity on that. Okay.
Fair enough.
So now moving on to place of supply for telecommunications. Okay. Now here this is whether the buyer is registered or unregistered. Okay. We'll take the questions in the end. Okay, as time permits. Let's say that there are some supplies of postpaid connections. Okay. Now it would be based upon the billing address of such person. Okay. Now if I have let's take one example. Let's take one example that I have taken the postpaid connection in Bangalore. Okay, and I'm using it over there only. My billing address is of Bangalore only. Okay, then normal CGST and SGST would be charged. Now, if I move to Mumbai, okay, and after moving to Mumbai, I change my billing address. Okay, I say that now I will be using the same number in Mumbai. Okay, but still make the payment to same company, Airtel or Reliance or whomsoever. Okay, since I have purchased the postpaid connection from Bangalore and I am using it in Mumbai, okay, then it would be IGST transaction. Similarly, if we see the third and the fourth line also, okay, the postpaid connection recharge via e-vouchers or fixed lease lines or dish antennas. Okay, now these would be based upon the location based on record of supplier or location where the line has been installed. Okay, the same case it would be. Okay, now only exception in this area is the prepaid connection. Now I took the line, I took a SIM card in Mumbai. Okay, it's a prepaid SIM card. Okay, I go to Delhi office. Okay, and there I buy a voucher. Okay, and recharge my mobile. Now, since it's recharged in Delhi, I bought the paper license from there. Okay, then it would be location where payment is received. Okay, I have made the payment to the Delhi vendor. So, here this would be local CGST and SGST. No doubt I am a Mumbai person, but since I bought from Delhi and I made the payment in Delhi, okay, it would be SGST and CGST case. So this would be the only exception in the place of supply in telecom industry, the second part, for the prepaid connection. Else all the others are very clear. It would be on either based upon billing address or location based upon the record of supply or based upon where the line has been installed. Moving on to the banking services. Okay, this is also very simple to understand. Okay, let's take one analogy of like I stay in Mumbai. I have my account in Mumbai branch. Now I go to Delhi, and after going to Delhi, I say that I want to make one demand draft. Now I say that you transfer my amount from my account. Then my account was in Mumbai and I'm making a DD in Delhi. Then it would be an interstate transaction wherein like IGST would be charged for additional services taken from that bank for making that DD. But in same Delhi branch, if I go and I hand over them cash, okay, take this 5,000 rupees and make a DD for me, then since it is not linked to any of my account, okay, it would be a local transaction, so CGST and SGST would be charged. Okay, so now this is purely based upon the account, okay, whether if it is linked to account or whether I'm directly taking the services by making the cash payments. Okay, so here a bank and financial services linked to account, then it will be based upon the location of service receiver, and banking and financial services not linked to account, then it would be location of service provider. Let's take up the place of supply in case of various other services. Okay, training and personal services, then transportation of passengers, transportation of goods, okay, insurance services, and organizing social and educational events. Now in this case, if I am a registered dealer, okay, and I provide my details, I provide my GST number, then purely based upon that GST number on the invoice, it would be interstate or intrastate. If I am unregistered dealer, okay, then the rules will be applied which has been given here. Okay, like for training and personal services, location where actually it is performed. Okay, I am an unregistered dealer from Mumbai, okay, and I go to Delhi and attend some training over there in Delhi. So if I am not providing any GST number, then since I have taken the services in Delhi itself, it would be local CGST and SGST transaction, even though if I am of Mumbai. But secondly, the transportation of passenger, okay, now the location of embarkation, it is basically from where I am sitting. Okay, I am in Mumbai, I go to a travel agent in Delhi and I say that I will be boarding the flight from Delhi and going to Rajasthan. Okay, now here Rajasthan does not come into the picture more. Okay, I am moving from Delhi, I am embarking from Delhi, so it would be a simple local CGST and SGST transaction. Okay, this transportation of goods, also the same thing, from loading of the goods. Insurance, it is purely based upon the address as per the service provider. It would be basically what address I am giving to the insurance company. Based upon that, they would be giving me the bill, IGST or CGST and SGST. Lastly, location of event. Now this is it is exactly the same as we discussed on the training and the personal services. So if I go to any event in Delhi, and in Delhi I pay any charges, any course fees, then it would be purely based upon local if I am unregistered. So it would be CGST and SGST. Okay, so this is in case of different services. The place of supply would be applied according to these rules. There are some more services. We can just read it. The last one is important. Development and usage of immovable property. Okay, location of such property. Now, for example, I am in Mumbai. I go to Delhi for some seminar. I stay in some hotel. Okay, it's an immovable property. Now, since I have taken the services in Delhi itself, okay, they will be charging me CGST and SGST. Even though if I say that I am from Mumbai, then too they will be making the bill in CGST and SGST only, because the supplier of services and the place of supply both are in the same state. Okay, so here it would be local CGST and SGST. In these cases, whether I am registered or unregistered, okay, the rules will apply according to the things which have been set over here. Okay, so that we are closing here onto the place of supply. we'll take the questions later on. Okay, right. We need to complete other topics also. एक मिनट, कोई लॉगिन करेगा? किस तरह का स्क्रीन दिख रहा है, जस्ट कंफर्म करना है, क्योंकि शायद अभी 2 स्क्रीन दिखेगी वहाँ पे। तो मैं यहाँ से स्क्रीन निकाल देता हूँ। Friends, stay connected. There are some presentation issues happening. Just be online. You will take one. Rami, you taking ITC?
तो अच्छा है, तेरा आवाज वहाँ पे रिकॉर्ड भी अच्छा है, अच्छा रहता है। ऐसे मेरे 2 सेशन है नाम और नाच का प्लान।
Yeah, friends. Fair. What we'll do is that we will continue with this way of presentation. Okay. You might be seeing 2 screens on your computers. So let's continue. So we are talking about the ITC credit over here. Now it gives a detailed understanding about what exactly ITC and how it will be taken. There are full forms of it. IGST is available on. Okay, the GST can be knocked off. All the GST can be knocked off. GST provides seamless flow of ITC from the right from the manufacturer till the it gets consumed. ITC available on the expense incurred for the furtherance of business. So this is the basic understanding which we have done in the earlier slides. Okay, but it gives a very clear information about ITC where it can be set off. So moving ahead, this is information. You should have a valid tax invoice, debit note or credit note issued by the registered person. Then only you can take the ITC credit. Now also the goods or services should be received. Tax have been paid by the paid to the government by the supplier, and you and your supplier must have filed monthly return GSTR3. These are the confirmations required for taking the ITC credit. So simple. This screen we have already seen in our earlier presentations also. It talks clearly about like CGST and SGST can be knocked off, okay, and it can be knocked off against IGST, okay, whereas it cannot be set off against SGST. That's the only exception. CGST cannot be knocked off against SGST, okay, and that's one clear inference about the IGST. IGST can be set off against any. It can be set off first against IGST. Secondly, it can also be set off against CGST and SGST. Okay. So moving on to this example, which we have already done it, okay, but this is in a different format to build up a better confidence about like this is exactly the transactions which will be passing on along with the tax invoices. Okay, let's see, we have seen our earlier cases of Supercar Limited and Ratna Steels. Now here, one case what we are driving is that both are in Delhi, okay, and Ratna Steel is giving invoice to Supercar. Now here there are 6 quantity delivered and the CGST, SGST charges 810 rupees. Now Supercar Limited ships to Vishnu Motors, who is in Delhi. So in his invoice he would be charging CGST and SGST. Now out of the 6 quantity he is shipping 4 to Vishnu Motors. This is one case, supply outwards. Second case is that he is shipping 2 quantity to Daya Motors. Now this is a interstate transaction and here the IGST was charged. Now let's take up this. In the first transaction we have input credit for CGST and SGST, and total outward tax, okay, is CGST 720, SGST 720 and IGST 720. Okay, so this is the current situation. Okay, total input tax credit is 810 plus 810 and outward tax is 720 plus 720 plus 720. Now how this can be adjusted? Okay, now on the table which is seen now in the output tax, okay, output tax I have to pay to the department is 720, but I need not pay 720 directly. I can adjust it against IGST. I can adjust it again, means I can adjust against CGST, I can adjust against SGST, and also I can adjust against IGST. Now after adjustment I finally have to pay 540 rupees to the department. Now see this column ITC, CGST, just hold on. नहीं, आपकी स्क्रीन बताओ ना मुझे. ओके, मैं जो कर्सर मूव कर रहा हूँ वो दिख रहा है? हाँ बस ठीक है. Now here our outward tax was 720, 720, 720. Now I am adjusting it against CGST 720 and I have still the balance from that 810 rupees. So 810 minus the 720, I have still the 790 rupees, which I can set it against IGST. Okay, so total my all the input credit of CGST, which was 810 rupees, I have set it against CGST and IGST. So similarly the case for SGST, I had balance of 810 rupees in SGST. So that I am setting it off against SGST and also IGST. Now finally I have adjusted 90 rupees against IGST. The only balance I have to pay to the department is 540 rupees. So this is the clear understanding about like how the input credit can be taken in the GST regime. I hope this is clear. Now here we are saying 720, 720, 720. We are adjusting it against CGST and SGST. Now finally I have to make a payment of 540 rupees only. The presentation would be shared with all. So definitely you can go through it, and if any queries left you can definitely ask us. If we want to take it once again this session, kindly give us the let us know about in chat. can we repeat the, yeah, some request has come for repeating the slide. Okay. Okay. Friends, once again, since this is a very important slide, we'll take it once again. Okay. Ratna Steels is a supplier. We are Supercar Limited. We are in the same state. So whenever Ratna Steels is shipping to us, he will be charging us GST and
Sir, आवाज नहीं आ रहा सर, voice is not coming.
Still it is creating problem.
Sir, voice is not coming.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, great. So once again I'll start it. Okay. Ratna Steels is a supplier. We are Supercar Limited in the same state. He is billing to us 6 quantity. He is charging us CGST and SGST. So I have input tax credit to be taken 810 rupees in both those accounts, CGST and SGST. Now out of the 6 quantity, I'm doing supply outwards, or I'm making a sales to Vishnu Motors in Delhi. I'm selling 4 quantity and I'm charging CGST and SGST, and the amount is 720 rupees. I'm also making a interstate transaction, selling 2 quantities to Dayal Motors in Punjab. Now here I am charging IGST. Entirely 18% I am charging over there. Okay, because that's only one IGST which I am charging over there, and the amount comes to 720 rupees. So now if I see about summary of my transaction, I have input tax credit of CGST and SGST 810 rupees in both the accounts. Simultaneously, I have to make payment to the department as in terms of output GST for CGST 720, SGST 720 and IGST 720. But these I can set off against each other. Let's see how I do the set off. Out of my total payments of 720 rupees in each account, ITC for CGST was 810 rupees. So first I am knocking off CGST against CGST. Out of this 810 rupees, okay, I am consuming 720 and my CGST still 90 rupees is left out. So that I am setting it off against IGST. Okay. Once again, the same story for ITC on SGST. Out of total 810 rupees, I am setting it off 720 against SGST, and 90 rupees I am setting it off against IGST. Now, after setting off this IGST of 90, out of 720, only 520 rupees is left out for me to submit to the department. I have to make payment of IGST to the department, and that would be only 540 rupees. I have consumed my entire ITC. Okay. So I hope this would be the adjustment in the GST regime. Hope this is clear. Okay, so that's some problem on your side. Great. Thank you, Franklin, for giving me the answer. It's clear. Let's move on to the next slide. Okay. Now this is the same story, but kindly see the figures over here, slightly different. Now here I am not doing a local purchase. I'm not doing local purchase. I'm buying it from another state, so the Punjab dealer is shipping me the goods with IGST. I'm selling locally and also to interstate also. Now here I had an input credit ITC of IGST. Okay, now since I've had the major IGST, the good rule about IGST is that it can be set off against any tax, any IGST, SGST or CGST. Okay, so that is the best part of IGST, that it can be set off against any tax. Now here also, that key IGST I'm setting it off against IGST. IGST I'm also setting it off against CGST. IGST I'm also setting it off against state GST. First, yeah. Yes, if I go with the chronological order, okay, then IGST against IGST, then IGST against CGST, and then I will be setting it off against state GST. Okay, so this would be the order in which ITC on IGST can be knocked off. Okay, so this is the same example which we were using. Okay, I'm just playing this animation. If any clarification, we can just take it up later on. It's the same slide, it's a modified slide, means it's improved slide over here. This slide we are using it for many months now. We have added GSP into it. Earlier we did not have GSP into it. We have also changed the dates over here. Earlier we were using March, April and May. Now we are using, I think this, I'll still correct it. It should be July and August. I'll correct it. The most important slide over here. Now here in this slide, okay, we are talking about only one transaction. We are talking about only one transaction, okay, where there is a defaulter and the supplier has not made payment to the department. So what will happen in this case? Whether I can take the ITC credit for that purchase invoice, okay, or if after taking and the party has not made the payment to the department, then when it will be reversed. So let's say in the month of July, so let's take up this example. In the month of July, I'm making some transactions. Okay, Ratna Steels. Okay, he is giving me the bills 5,000 and 5,000, 2 transactions. Okay, and I'm having an outward supply of 25,000. Now I have to file this. I have to file this in the month of August. Now how my August returns would look like? By 10th of August, GSTR 1 I will be submitting of 25,000. GSTR 2 I will be submitting for 10,000, which gives me a clear information about that 25,000 minus 10,000, it gives me 15,000. So I have to make a payment of 15,000 to the department by 20th of August. सब लोग हीरो हो यहाँ पे, या तो मैं दूसरे रूम में चला जाता हूँ. So now here what we are seeing is the 5,000 transaction, the sixth transaction of Ratna Steel, okay, he has not made a payment for it. Okay, there's some mismatch. Now because of this mismatch, whether I can take the benefit of this 5,000? Yes, I will be able to take the benefit of this 5,000 for this August month. Okay, now below this, these are the August month transaction. Not complicating to this scenario. Okay, there is only one purchase transaction and one sales transaction. Okay, in month of August, and I have to file the August return in the month of September. So outward is 15,000. This 15,000. Inward supply is 6,000. Okay, so finally I have to make a payment of 9,000. Okay, but since there was a mismatch of 5,000 rupees earlier, okay, I have to pay additional 5,000 rupees. So not in the month of September. Okay, I have to make payment of only 6,000 rupees. Okay, because I can still avail this 5,000 rupees credit in this September month. Now similarly, we are taking the transaction in September month, one transaction each. Now, the transaction which was under the mismatch in the month of July, it will get reversed in the month of October. Now whatever was my liability for the month of October, okay, 5,000 will be getting added into it, and finally I have to make the payment for 9,000 rupees. And only after making that 9,000 rupees payment to the department, I will be able to submit my GSTR 3. Okay, so this is purely a case wherein, like, if there is one mismatch, okay, in the entire cycle, so this input credit, when it gets reversed after 2 months. So you can anytime say that within 60 days, if the payment is not made, then it will be reversed. So conditions when ITC cannot be availed. Simple instructions: registrations not applied for within 30 days from the date on which you have become liable for registration. That is, like, if you have crossed 20 lakh, okay, you are liable to register. So within 30 days you have to apply and you have to submit the returns. Also, in case of, you cannot claim the ITC in case of goods taken from composite dealer, and also if you are a composite dealer, you cannot take the ITC credit. In case of service received by payment which has not been done in within 3 months, this will be reversed and added as output tax liability to the recipient of such goods and services along with interest. So these are the conditions when ITC cannot be availed. There are some other cases also on goods and services used for making exempted supplies. If I am purchasing some goods, okay, and I am selling it, okay, the goods which I am selling it are exempted from GST, then I cannot claim the ITC for same. Okay, yes, since I cannot claim the ITC for same, okay, but if I am an exporter, I can definitely ask for the refund of it, okay, of all the input GST or input tax which are levied on my purchases. So I can claim the refund, and cannot definitely I cannot set off against, because when I am exporting, okay, I do not charge any GST into it. So in such scenarios, it would be refunded rather than claiming the or setting off the ITC. In these cases also, I cannot claim the ITC. If I am giving any product for free samples or gifts, or if the goods are stolen, or they are destroyed or lost, okay, in this case also, the goods which have come inside my organization with ITC, with input tax, in any terms of input GST, then I cannot set it off with any of the outward. Conditions when ITC cannot be availed. This is one more example. In terms of, these are some of the industries in which you will not be able to claim any type of ITC. Food and beverage, outdoor catering, beauty treatment, health services, and plastic surgery. In all such cases, we will not be able to take the ITC. In case of motor vehicles also, like if Darshan is traveling in Uber, okay, in Delhi, okay, if any service tax has been charged onto it, I cannot claim the ITC for such subjects. Okay, ITC, there is also in one thing that if I buy a vehicle, okay, say I buy a Honda City, okay, and GST has been levied onto it. So can I take the ITC if I am selling Tally? Okay, my business is selling Tally. Okay, so if I purchased a vehicle, Honda City, which I am using it for my meetings, or if I am making it for the delivery of Tally product or XYZ story, so no doubt that car is taken for the furtherance of my business, but still I cannot claim the ITC for it. Okay, I can take the ITC of it only and only if I am into the business of cars. If I buy cars and sell cars, then only I can take. This is an exception for motor industry. Okay, if at all I am into this business, on the right hand side I have listed some things. Okay, if I am into the transportation of passengers, or if I am having lot many cars, okay, for giving it for hire purposes, okay, or if I am imparting training for driving school, for vehicle driving school. Okay, so only in these cases I can take the ITC or I can take the GST benefit, okay, if I am buying a car, but not in case of like if I am doing some other business. Okay, yes.
In case of gifts, you are saying if I am giving a gift to anyone, then I cannot take input credit.
Yes.
Now, in case of corporate gifting, let's say Diwali is coming. Now, companies purchasing thousands of gifts
okay,
and giving it to employees.
Yes.
So, whether an organization can claim that or not?
No. If it is you have purchased some, for example, I have purchased some, say, pens, okay, to give to my partners. Okay. So now, if I am giving them free, okay, then whatever was the ITC, okay, for that for the purchase of that pen, I cannot claim it as the ITC because I am giving it further, okay, as free gifts. So I cannot claim the ITC for it. It becomes cost for my organization.
But that has business implications, now, because okay.
Since they have clearly said about that, if it is for free supply or for gifts, okay, such type of ITCs cannot be taken up. Okay. Lastly, we'll take up on the purchase of capital goods. Okay. On terms of capital goods, it's calculated based upon, see, if this is purely onto depreciation. If we have taken the benefit of input credit, okay, of IGST, then during depreciation, and we are not including into the cost of our assets, okay, then we can take the ITC credit. But if we are not taking ITC credit, and we are adding all the ITC, all the GST into the cost of acquisition of that fixed assets, then only in depreciation I can claim the entire amount or the partial amount which is acceptable as per the income tax. Okay, so this is one more place where I can avail ITC on capital goods, or where I cannot take the ITC on capital goods. There are two scenarios into it. Okay, so these are some exceptional scenarios. We can just run through it. Switching from composition scheme to regular dealer. when exempted goods or services become taxable, when goods or services partially used for business and partially for other purpose, when goods or services are used partially for taxable supplies and partially for exempted supplies, when goods are received in lots or installments. So these are the scenarios, exceptions to avail the ITC. Friends, I feel that we have given the time from 10 to 11. So adhering to the time frame, okay, we might reschedule because there are two more presentations to be shown. One is for the invoicing part and one is the new presentation which we are using for the customer engagement. So need some confirmation from your side that can we continue with this, or should we schedule one more session onto it? नहीं मैं शिफ्ट हो सकता हूँ ना कहीं और एक मिनट इसके अंदर पार्टिसिपेंट्स जो जितने भी है ना उन सब लोग का नाम ले लेना नोट करो नहीं बाकी हम लोग फ्राइडे को ले लेंगे Friends, so what we are doing is we are scheduling it for Friday. Okay, so Friday we will keep the session same timing. Okay, Friday is which date? 10th. We will intimate to you about the new time for the balance presentation. Okay, we have covered today's place of supply in detail. Okay, we have also covered the ITC credit. Okay, and also we need to cover up two more topics. One topic is in relation to invoice and invoice making, means when we have to make the invoice, by what time we have to make the invoice. Okay, and lastly the new presentation which has come 1.5. Okay, which has some changes as compared to the earlier presentation. Also, we have not taken the QA session in this time, so we will be taking more QA things in the next session, which would be intimated to you soon. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for your participation. This is the only thing that we are adhering to the time, and that's why we are closing this session. Thank you all. Thank you.